Good morning, Coffee Moaners.
Good morning, Coffee Moaners. Welcome to the Sawalha-Adderleys. Please, if you're new to the channel, just hit the subscribe button. If you're not new to the channel and you watch us lots and you're not subscribed, it's free. Hit the subscribe button. Helps get these videos out to more people. And at the moment, with so much of what's going on in the world being used by so many for their own ends, it's quite good to get videos out with them. A different skew. I'm
going to subclip something, a part of what we talked about yesterday, because I didn't have time. It was a horrendous day for everyone yesterday, wasn't it? It was. It's just So anyway, we were talking yesterday about the awful way in which, you're right, the way in which Netanyahu just has seized upon the tragedy on Bondi Beach. And we endeavored yesterday, though I wasn't too successful in trying to kind of, distinguish between the tragedy that's happened to humans versus the political shenanigans, the cultural shenanigans, and the manipulation and propaganda that then has spawned out of it. But yeah, so we're going to carry on talking about that. We're going to talk about how Palestinian support or support for Palestine is already being healthily or hopelessly blamed for the anti-Semitism that led to the Bondi attack. So we're going to be talking about that in more detail, and just how people can manage to actually square that circle.
Yeah, that if you're anti-genocide, you must be partly the reason for what happened on Bondi Beach. It's so tenuous, it's so ridiculous.
It's not only tenuous, it's really fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And it's inhumane. And so this kind of curious attempt to contort the truth and contort humanitarian instinct towards somehow fanning the flames of the lunacy and the extremity of people like the guys who went on a shooting rampage in Australia is just nonsense. And we're also going to talk in more detail about the just astonishing. I was flabbergasted last night.
Nadia, it was AI.
I could not believe the post Donald Trump posted about the late Rob Reiner.
And then backed it up when he was asked in an interview and didn't say, "Oh, I was nothing." He did nothing to rewind.
So if you don't know who Rob Reiner, director, very famous director, Hollywood director, did When Harry Met Sally, This Is Spinal Tap,
Misery,
A Few Good Men, Misery, absolutely, Stand By Me.
Brilliant.
I mean, film. Possibly you possibly couldn't have. There aren't many directors with that many hits other than Spielberg. Him and his wife tragically killed in their home in LA. Murdered by what looks like to be their son.
Well, we don't know. He's been arrested.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
We're going to talk about that. But then Donald Trump. Not only then, so we've got both of them. I've got the Truth Social post that was jaw dropping as I headed off to the hospital, and then as I came out, I saw him having fucking doubled down on it.
It's extraordinary, totally extraordinary. America is literally up in arms over it, aren't they?
So we're going to talk about that.
And Trump, yesterday, did he serve the suing? It was made it official because, of course, he threatened that he was going to sue the BBC for 10 billion for the edit of a documentary that he was featured in. But I think it's all happened now, hasn't it? The papers have gone through. It's official.
He's served papers from Florida, and there's some interesting kind of micro details in why he's served papers from Florida that I think is quite interesting in terms of industry. But yeah, no, I mean, let's not beat around the bush. He's suing the BBC for 10 billion. And it's a big if, but if this were to land or succeed, that would be the end of our broadcaster. There's no way of kind of prettifying
fascism sweeping across the world.
It would be in one fell swoop. He would remove yeah. I mean, what a job he'll have done for Farage.
Well, don't forget, in there they've admitted outright that they're going to support those that could help break up Europe further. Yeah. So we know that already.
Do you know what, Nads? I'm just going to say something. You're going through really fucking difficult times. I woke up with a stinking headache. And sometimes I sit here with this, we sit here with this show and we think, oh, how shall we move logically through? Let's not move logically. Let's just speak as we feel. Because I've just noticed someone there just said, just like, for example, with relationship to Rob Reiner, someone just said an actual genius. Trump versus an actual genius. Yeah, someone with talent and skill. and
people
ability.
are literally raging in America. And yesterday, I was listening to something that Bill Clinton was saying.
Oh,
now, the reason why I didn't send you the video was I couldn't be sure if it was AI.
Oh, God.
The same old, but so that's why I haven't actually got the video. But it was just interesting what he was saying, even if it was AI, because he was saying the way that there was this delay after Trump said what he said. And usually, you know, Fox and these other sort of obsequious channels that just lick his arse no matter what he said, there was a kind of a silence, there was a hiatus, because this was just...
Like when birds go quiet before an earthquake.
This was across the line. And, well, maybe...
Well, let me show you Truth Social.
The clip first.
Well, no, I'll show us Truth Social.
Why don't you show the clip?
Well, because that comes after the Truth Social.
Oh, okay.
So this is what he posted. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, this is his words. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS.
Let's pause.
Hang on.
Let's just pause and just take that in. This is
I'm sorry.
The President of the United States of America commenting just hours after the slaughter of one of their greatest directors. You know, when you think of America, you think of the movies, right?
Yeah.
Right? And his wife. Tragic. So tragic. And he's saying that it's due to his Trump derangement.
Well, hang on. He was known to have...
astonishing.
This bit, he was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of Trump, with his obvious paranoia.
He puts President Donald J. Trump. Yeah. He writes it all out.
With his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, this bit, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace.
With an exclamation mark.
I hate to say it.
The disrespect.
In social media terms, and I'm going to use an analogy that's really horrible, that is like literally pissing on someone's grave. That is the most disgusting, non-tribute, pull down, take down. And even within its own terms, when he says here, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding... I mean, it's got nothing... What? At this point, I don't think it was known. I think it was felt and it was worried, and people were worried that it was a family member, weren't they, at this point? But it wasn't known for sure. His son hadn't been arrested. But even on that, what's he talking about?
Well, I mean, he's the one with Donald Trump derangement syndrome. He's totally deranged. He's deranged. And there was this hiatus. Nobody could stand up for that. Fox, all of these, nobody, the arse lickers of the world. Apparently, rumor has it that from inside the White House, everyone was just silent. There was like nothing coming out. No protection, no backpedaling for him, no nothing. Because it was just...
Matty Parker says, even Jeffrey Epstein thought Trump was evil.
Yeah. But what do you think of that, guys?
He's beyond words, says Anne-Marie.
It is beyond
Even his
words.
supporters must be shocked. I mean,
well, they were. MAGA was silent yesterday, apparently. It was... Seriously, there is no way that you can defend that.
No. And I think that is the important point. There's literally no wraparound.
There's no way.
There's no other sort of POV on it that you get to, that you go, oh, that's rational or reasonable. Oh, okay, I can conceive what he's going to say. We're going to show the clip now that you were talking about, where he's challenged on this, or he's asked about it, rather.
Where you think he might
office.
backpedal.
Here's his moment. Here's his moment where he could have kind of, just reduced the kind of, the evil of his comment. Listen to this.
After the murder of Rob Reiner, a number of Republicans have denounced your...
What is this doing? Hang on. I had this issue earlier today. Just 1 second.
It's just...
Of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Slips, Mr. President. Leader Thune doesn't seem
Very bad for. I mean, sorry.
He didn't say.
I mean, sorry. America, what the fuck is going on? How are you allowing this lunatic? Is there nothing in your legal system, nothing in your constitution that can stop this man? That is a very, very unwell person who is in charge of the world basically at the moment.
I thought in that clip, actually, when I saw that clip, you were telling me about someone who says he's got what 2-3 months max potentially. Someone sort of has speculated on his mental health state and his
and speculating that he had Alzheimer's,
potential dementia. The way he talks about himself in the third person
is
again,
very odd.
You know, he didn't like Trump. I mean, the one person suffering with really deep Trump syndrome is this
Trump.
guy. Is this
He's
guy.
Deranged. His greatness.
But I have a real sense from that clip that he is losing his marbles, because any normal person any scale, he would have known he had to fucking rein it in a bit.
No. Total egomania. What's that word again that I always forget, Mark? Not Hizoot. What's that? What's that?
Hubris.
Hubris.
It's
Hubris. It's beyond ego. It's beyond. It's as high as you can go, isn't it? With self-worth and
describing himself as malignant narcissists do.
Yeah.
Trump has sucked out any tiny minuscule amount of empathy we had left in the US.
America, pull your finger out, man.
Looking forward to seeing how Caroline Leavitt defends this one.
Well, apparently there was no defences yesterday. I don't know if there has been.
How do you defend that? I love the way he refers to himself in the third person. In his deluded mind, he is godlike. I mean, I don't want to fan the flames of conspiracy, but two things are happening this Friday. Does anyone know what those two things are that are happening this Friday? Allegedly, the Epstein files are to be made public.
Oh, God. How many times have we heard this?
And on the same day, the interstellar object is at its closest position to Earth. Now, the reason I say that is not to bang on about it. Nadia knows I bang on about it. But really try and look at how those two news stories are managed by the Trump regime. In the same week, we're hearing stories in this country saying, get your sons and daughters ready for war. I feel something is happening in the background. A much bigger something is happening somewhere. And I'll tell you why this connects to this. I think part of it is the timing of whatever is going to happen, I think, is being timed to intercept the point that Donald Trump is beyond being rescued from himself. Hear me on this theory. I think everyone around him and the system, whatever the system is, knows that Trump has got, like you say, a month max of being able to say anything of any vague sense. As
this doctor was saying.
Yeah, of any vague sense. So I think what they now need, and because the Epstein files threaten to come out, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's a massive fucking huge conspiracy theory-led thing that happens towards the end of this week that means that he has to be withdrawn from public life for either blamed on an interstellar object or blamed on something else. I'm telling you now. I think they have to pull him off the stage.
They have to get him off the stage, man.
And it doesn't matter if it's an alien invasion, they'll use it. It's like, what the fuck can we say?
Shuffle him off that stage.
They have to get him off stage like they did that long weekend.
Trouble is, don't forget this horrendous latest document that's come out of the White House. What do they call it, Mark? With the plans that they have for the world. It was written by Steve Miller and J.D. Vance anyway, so we've got nothing better in the wings.
Their national, their internet, their strategy, their international strategy. So obviously the papers are running with, Trump's post on Rob Reiner sparks outrage from lawmakers and celebrities. And I just think
politicians right across the board.
I think he's just gone a bit too far. This footage, apologies, because there are issues with the video playing on StreamYard today. But this footage is really quite sort of sad, even though you kind of don't hear anything, but you see basically Billy Crystal and his wife walking through Hollywood shortly after the death of Rob Reiner. Now, Billy Crystal obviously was the star of When Harry Met Sally. I mean, I know it's kind of a bit of a chintzy movie, but I fucking love that film. That film was, it was just so funny when it came out. It was ahead of its time. But this footage here is of Billy Crystal and his wife seen arriving at Rob Reiner's home, just solemnly just walking along the street. Apparently they saw the bodies, didn't they?
Apparently, so I saw in one report.
They were close family friends.
Very close. And Demi Moore wrote a really devastating post, didn't she? Because her kids and their kids grew up together.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just
and
imagine.
if, like you say, his son has been arrested, if it turns out that he was the one that did this, again, just tragedy on tragedy.
Yeah.
Because I was reading yesterday that his son had been to rehab, Mark, listen to this, 18 times. The first time he went was on his 15th birthday.
Yeah.
They did everything. So tragic. The disease of addiction is just brutal. Can you imagine their pain? What's that beautiful movie he made? Is it My Beautiful Boy with Timothy Chalamet?
A Beautiful Boy, yeah.
A Beautiful Boy.
And,
if you want to know the truth of bringing up a child with addiction problems, that was a great movie,
beautiful.
wasn't it? And you think that's
incredibly moving.
That's probably very likely the kind of thing they went through.
So a lot of speculation in the press, a lot of news regarding Rob Reiner's son, who was allegedly disruptive at a Conan O'Brien party the night before the killings.
Because he had become homeless, I think, because he refused to go back to rehab.
Yeah.
And that will be the boundaries that you have to put in when somebody continues to pick up, drink, pick up the drugs, is to say, for anyone that's new here, Mark's been sober for 21 years.
Yeah.
21 years. So we know a little bit about this, having gone through the rehab thing, but you have to say, that's it. You can't come in. Watch My Beautiful Boy. It is such a great, God, it broke my heart, that film.
Steve Carell and Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, it's...
Dramatic photos show Rob Reiner's son Nick being arrested for parents' murder after leaving a trail of blood in a motel room across town.
Oh, he will have been completely out of it, wouldn't he?
These are the images of him being arrested.
There are reports that it was his sister who turned him in. I mean, again, the siblings, just the ricochet effect.
This is an image of the
beautiful
son.
boy.
Yeah, absolutely. Billy Crystal and wife saw
Look at
bodies
his kind
of
face, Rob Reiner. I mean, the kindest face.
Billy Crystal and wife saw bodies of Rob Reiner and his spouse Michelle following horrific double murder. I mean,
oh my God.
Rob Reiner's daughter turned in brother Nick to police after parents were murdered in their mansion, and he freaked out at A-list holiday party.
Look at the love between them there as well. Yeah. How hard for her.
I just want to play this clip. It might get pulled down because I know there's music attached to it, but it's an incredibly moving clip which you sent through actually earlier, Nads. We want to remember Rob Reiner. After it's really just so tragic. Rob Reiner wearing a hat knitted by his daughter.
And this was an account where she said, I was going to post about Trump's speech. She's great, this girl I follow. She does brilliant political posts, but she said, instead, I thought I would just post a picture of Rob Reiner in a knitted hat, knitted by his daughter.
Oh my God, look at this detail
How
here.
beautiful that she did that.
Just 1 second. Just got a nasty little person. Apparently, Michelle was still alive when her daughter found them. She went in the ambulance with her. She died in the ambulance, but was able to say it is Nick. They say it was Nick. My heart breaks for her.
Where did you see that, Tina?
Oh my God. Where did you hear that, Tina? My God. That's awful. Just got rid of the that nasty person. It's just tragic. I mean, again, look, this and a tragedy like this is a tragedy whoever it involves. And when something takes on an extra hue, when someone's in the public realm, or someone is creative, or someone has been in our lives or contributed to culture, if you like. And the thing I love about Rob Reiner, he's always been one of my favorites, and he's a resolutely mainstream Hollywood filmmaker. You know, he wasn't about, He made different genre films. He from Stand By Me. I mean, Stand By Me, possibly one of the most perfectly calibrated pieces of filmmaking. You know, with River Phoenix, it's just astonishing. Misery. I remember me and Maddie watching Misery. Absolutely.
It affected me so deeply.
And I remember when I showed Maddie that film, we were camping, just me and Maddie in the New Forest, and she watched Misery, and it immediately became her favorite film. His tight control. Now, that doesn't make his life more valuable than anyone else's, but when someone has contributed that much to the fabric, as Nadia brilliantly put it, of a country, America, that when you think of America, the best qualities of America, you think of the contributions it's made to culture, not all of them great through Hollywood, obviously, there's as much shit that comes out. But Hollywood is one of the great things about America, the film industry, filmmaking, and the way in which we elevate it as an art form and a business. He managed to absolutely intercept business and artistry, business and creativity. And the reason a death like his really cuts through, so to speak, is because we were all touched by him, or he contributed to all of us. I mean, for me, growing up as a young adult, When Harry Met Sally was one of the most, I always found it an absolute safety zone to go to and watch. And,
we should watch it again. We've never watched it together.
Not together, no. And there's something about it that's just so wonderful.
Just to confirm, they are saying they were both found dead at the property. So maybe that's a bit of fake news that came in there, because I've looked at a couple of reports now, and they say LAPD said they were found dead in the property. So I think that might have been.
And I sorry, I've forgotten who mentioned it earlier. A genius being commented on by an absolute fucking Muppet.
Yeah.
Although the Muppets are genius. I think what makes the whole thing so unedifying is that such a crass, uncultured lump of lard, Trump, can in any way have a position to comment on anyone of such kind of skill and stature and capabilities. It's so insulting.
But I think we've seen so much derangement from Trump.
True.
But that, for me, it's funny, isn't it, how something can just come in, and this is what, if it is Bill Clinton that was saying this yesterday, I don't know. It didn't matter, because everything he said made sense to me, whether it's Bill Clinton or not. You know, it's funny how these things can happen in politics. It's almost like when you're going down the mountain, you can have the biggest exercise. He's thrown this out.
Yes, and this could be the thing.
He's just thrown this out, but it's so bad what he said.
So bad.
And it's so utterly indefensible. You can't work around it. The people that always make excuses, how will they work around that?
The deepest, darkest, because don't forget, Rob Reiner was an advocate, an outspoken critic of Trump, absolutely, which is why his wife lived forever and a day in that, I think I mentioned it yesterday, in the shadows of having taken the photo when Trump was himself a Democrat. And we're not getting into the nitty gritty of which Democrats. All you know is that Rob Reiner was a critic of Trump.
But also the messaging that's come out from Trump here, which is you can do anything to anyone if they disagree with Trump. It's like
everything's permissible.
Everything is permissible because he didn't like Trump.
It's outrageous.
Let's
bomb.
Dangerous.
We can bomb fishermen in the sea.
It's dangerous.
We can have directors killed. I mean, he's sanctioning. He's legitimizing. Albeit, okay, this wasn't some rabid Trump supporter. This was tragically, this was another family mental health crisis breakdown. But that's what's also awful about it, is that Trump has sought to even remove the familial detail of this story by suggesting that somehow this director, Rob Reiner, had enraged so many other people. I mean, Trump is clearly he's lost the plot a long time ago, but he's losing the plot rapidly, exponentially. And I promise you, I think something massive is going to happen this week. Something massive is going to happen to have to usher him off the stage. You know, like they used to in the 70s with a great big stick. They pull someone off with a kind of, do you remember the stick? And they're going to have to pull him off stage. He's a complete liability.
The thing is, though, the people behind him agree. It won't be they've gone quiet because they don't agree with him.
Rob Reiner. Look at this. Lucy Heaney. Thanks for that detail. Rob Reiner was making a documentary on the relationship between Putin and Trump.
Ah, was he?
If you want to get a good grab on him too, he is the director of. The other thing. This is the thing about Rob Reiner. He completely created the genre, pretty much, of the mockumentary. This Is Spinal Tap was a fake documentary. And when it came out, it completely fucking rocketed. Everyone was blindsided because they were like, this is so real.
Yeah.
He
was
originated the mockumentary.
A genius.
And he plays the documentary director making the film about This Is Spinal Tap.
But Trump has always got very angry about very clever people, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, like smart people like other smart people, you know, and are excited and interested by other clever people. And like the more clever people you're around, the cleverer you get, right?
We're inspired by clever people, right? Not intimidated.
It's always
by
a
them.
sign of such stupidity when somebody just attacks somebody with that is clearly so much smarter than that person.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if the only legacy, one of the legacies from Rob Reiner's death, is that he somehow actually unpeels Trump's fucking, in inverted commas, success story? Okay, so let's move back to the tragedies on Bondi Beach. I'm going to play you a clip which the Mail was running. It's quite difficult to make out, but this is footage of two other people. Basically, the story being there are numerous other heroes on the Bondi Beach shooting day. Many lifeguardsmen were running towards the
as you see people running away, they're running. There's this lifeguard. He's running towards it with a defibrillator to help people's lives.
And that was just a photograph, which I have unfortunately I haven't got here. But this footage is quite hard to make out. I struggle to make it out. But if you understand that, tragically, the two people basically grappling with the shooter did end up dying. And this is the footage that the Daily Mail was running this morning.
I'm sorry, Sarah Jane. Just saw you.
So pedestrians attempt to disarm the Bondi gunman moments before the attack. And if you see them on the floor just in front of the car, they play it again. Look, so you see the guy in the purple.
Yeah.
I think he tries to grapple with him. I think he ends up dying. Both people end up being.
He's an older guy.
Look, so he's because the guy with the white trousers is the gunman.
I just find this incredible how people do that.
And that guy with the purple, there he is with the white socks, and tragically he lost his life.
Oh my God. I mean, I watched that and I say, oh God, I would be running as fast as I can away. And I 100% know that about myself.
Do you know what?
But I suppose we just never know, do we? What?
I was going to say, do you know what? I mean, I think sometimes when the adrenaline goes and it's not, I think sometimes things happen so fast that you're not thinking about whether I'm safe or not. You just go, this is the right thing to do.
I just think I'm very cowardly.
I don't think it's about that. I think in some situations you might have actually step in, and in others you might not. Christopher,
they are all heroes.
All of our regards to Christopher and anyone else in Australia who's been caught up in this. Both have sadly died.
Oh my God.
Christopher, that detail. They were days away from celebrating their 35th wedding anniversary.
So it was a husband and wife that went after them.
Wow.
Or was it two men?
Oh my God.
It was a couple, basically. I don't know whether it was two men or a man and woman, but oh my God. Oh my God.
Now,
a couple that brave.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now, the part of this story that we did touch upon yesterday, and we want to talk a little bit about today, is the attempt by the usual suspects, husband and wife, says Christopher Cundall. Father and son were the shooters. We're talking about the two who were stopping him in that footage. Is the attempts and the speed with which the likes of Netanyahu, Ben Gvir, and also, unfortunately, some voices in this country and around the Western world who have sought to connect this atrocity with any form of support for the Palestinians.
Or to be anyone that is anti-genocide.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the most dangerous and depressing and disturbing and obvious fucking slates. Yes, sleight of hands. What the fuck is going on there? Why are they doing this? Wow. I'm just going to play you just quickly and I know we only have a limit. He's speaking in Hebrew. This is Netanyahu reminding us what he told Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia.
On August 17th, about 4 months ago, I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter in which I gave him warning that the Australian government's policy was promoting and encouraging anti-Semitism in Australia. I wrote, "Your call for a Palestinian state pours fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorism. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread.
I just want to say, categorically, it's a lie what he's saying there. What he's conflating is, and he said exactly the same thing to Starmer. You know how much we have got little or no regard for Starmer. But when he accused Starmer of fanning the flames of anti-Semitism around the Manchester synagogue attack, because he said that he was going to recognize a Palestinian state, this is fraudulent. This is a lie. This is propaganda. This is an attempt to legitimize and justify his genocidal mania that has been conducted in extremis for 2 years, but has been in existence for decades. Do not fall for this spurious lie, which sadly and tragically is even now being at a sort of less extreme level spouted out by the likes of Andrew Marr on LBC. Major journalists have once again been thrown to a place where they are worried about potentially being called anti-Semitic. It's very clear and very unambiguous. These two nut jobs who are, anti-Semitism exists. These two nut jobs were anti-Semitic, okay? That doesn't equate with fighting against and being against morally and humanitarianly against the killing and murder and genocide of a population. The two things are not connected.
No.
Which is why thousands, millions of Jewish people around the world are also enraged with Israel. This is all an attempt to conflate criticism of Israel with anti-Semitism. Do not fall for it. I'm not suggesting you would, but it's outrageous. It's outrageous because I can already feel mainstream journalists are leaning into this idea that on the fringes of the Palestinian movement, on the fringes of these marches, there is a hostility to Jewish people. No.
And how often do we hear Jewish people talking about how anti-Semitism has been fueled by Netanyahu?
Yes.
I mean, that's not us saying that.
No.
That Follow Jewish Voice for Peace, fantastic organization. I wonder when Trump will shut them down. Follow them. They do brilliant papers and discussions. And they're very, very smart and fair, aren't they? And
I just want to play this brilliant clip that
us.
Nadia found. This is someone who rang in to LBC because I think it really speaks to the heart of this really well.
I've heard previous callers talking about, using phrases like globalizing intifada or from the river to the sea as being one of the reasons why this attack may have occurred. Yes, I disagree. Right. I would disagree with that. On the other hand, you could say that there are comments being made by Israeli politicians just in the last hour or so. Ben Gvir, that extremist Israeli politician, he said that this is the fault of the Australian government because they recognized Palestine. That is a very, very awful thing to say, especially coming from an Israeli politician.
I think this is an important point, and I wasn't aware of it before you raised it. So people who are calling into this conversation and saying that we shouldn't have these conversations and now's not the time, as Stephen did in a very dignified way, and I respect Stephen. If Itmar Ben-Gvir is doing it as well, we need to take this into account. We need to be able to have this conversation, however difficult it is, in a dignified manner.
This is what he's referring to there is the idea that we shouldn't be talking about the global politics. We shouldn't be talking about the if you like, the broader ramifications.
All of us little people shouldn't, but Ben Gvir and Netanyahu within hours can come out and make the most appalling accusations. Like this is the fault of Albanese.
Yes.
I mean, imagine that if the tables were turned in any way. And so his point is right. If they've come up and said it, then the conversation has been opened by Netanyahu and Ben Gvir.
Yes. I'm only speculating. I'm not speculating at all. I'm just throwing out some facts. It's becoming clear. Me too. You were on it much sooner than everyone else. Beginning to wonder where you seem to. I think you might work for the intelligence service.
I've thought that a couple of times. You're so on it, meet you.
You're like our fifth emergency service. Is it fifth or fourth? I don't know. ISIS, it looks like they were idolatory, this father-son combo of Islamic State ideology propaganda. And all I want to say on that is the exact genesis behind ISIS is deeply ambiguous and deeply ambivalent. When you actually dig into the history of ISIS, the funding of ISIS, the support of ISIS, guys. I would say that you just need to bear in mind that it's not as squeaky clean and obvious as you would first think it is. So, you know, and I think we suggested yesterday, he was a very competent shooter. He was a very, very skilled marksman, unfortunately, tragically. So final story, should we just, we do need to move on quite quickly today. So just want to discuss this. Trump to sue the BBC for up to $10 billion over the edit of January the 6th speech. I'm telling you right now, there will be an editor somewhere in London, I'm being sort of urban centric. I heard someone on the radio say it this morning, when you've been in edit suites as many times and for as often as I have been, I tell you almost certainly what might have happened with this clip. It wasn't edited to make Trump sound any different to what he sounded like, because he said essentially what they did was just tighten up the point of what he was trying to say. I promise you, there will have been an editor somewhere. I'm not for a minute suggesting it was the editor's job responsibility, but in the cut and thrust of an edit suite, someone will have simply gone, we haven't got 6 minutes between him saying that and saying, should we just concertina? It's called a concertina edit. Should we just concertina it down because the ethos of the message is the same? And they will have done that. And when the BBC didn't react to the Telegraph initially sort of fanning the flames of it, going, have you seen this? They'll have thought, oh, it'll go away. It's just one of those, you know, it's a silly edit.
But, and he was already in power, wasn't he? That was the thing. Yeah. It wasn't like he won.
But it's the most expensive concertina edit in the history of man. If this lawsuit lands, now the suit has come from Florida. The reason Florida, the courts are incredibly favorable towards Trump in Florida, and also I think BritBox, or there's some legislation which means that the BBC, you can subscribe to the BBC, I believe, in Florida. It's weird. And I think because of that strange little loophole, there's the capacity for him to be able to throw a defamation case at the BBC, because there was the potential, though I don't think it was necessarily going to be screened, there was the potential for Panorama to have been carried by the BBC services that you can subscribe to in Florida. That's literally the narrow gauge by which he thinks he can get the BBC. It's unlikely that it will go. It's unlikely he'll get 10 billion. But what the BBC could find itself in is a quagmire of cost for years to come.
For years. Well, this is what he does. He ties people up in these messy cases, doesn't he?
If you're in the legal department at the BBC, and I've had some encounters and experiences with them, I don't know if you remember with Taste when we had that litigious thing, they will be sat with head in hands. It will be a very heavy day in the legal office at the BBC today.
Did you get the?
I have, yeah. I'll just bring it.
And the other one, the history one.
Oh, I haven't got that. No. Hang on, let me just find the little girl. So this is just.
Oh, actually, I think it's a little boy. He's just got long hair.
Oh, hang on. I haven't got it. Can you just carry on just for a second while I send it?
So, okay. Well, I'm going to start with the other one. This is like, you know, my Women in History, my little series I've got going here. Don't worry, I can just read it out, because I thought it's timely because of it being Christmas and because of the games we traditionally play at Christmas. Just 1 second. I hate that when it goes to something else. Here it is. So listen to this. The true story of Monopoly. In 1903, an American woman named Elizabeth Maggie created a game called the Landlord's Game.
Right.
Its purpose was to show how monopolies and land rent could harm society.
Right.
Yeah. But in the 1930s, look, this was the original. That's her. Oh, it's gone. But in the 1930s, Charles Darrow came across the game, modified its rules and released it under the name Monopoly. While Darrow made a fortune, the Parker Brothers company bought Maggie's patent for a small fee and erased her from history.
Wow.
Today, Monopoly is one of the world's most popular board games, but behind it lies the forgotten work of a woman. Let me just see. Let me just get a photo of her. That's her. And it was originally made through Social Conscience.
I love that. Is this from the same place that you got the
No, it's a
marathon story? I love these
I've got
pockets of feminist history. This is wonderful.
It's great.
Matty Parker, just quickly on that, this is a massive news story today. The US has just pulled its tech investment in the UK. You know, the one thing that Starmer...
Yes!
Apparently worth 38 billion. Do you remember Starmer ran around saying
That was why we got the bloody great big dinner table out when people were starving in Gaza and got all the gold and the carriages. Yeah. And I remember having this argument. Somebody said, well, it has brought in 38 billion. I went, so far, that's what he said.
Yeah.
But is it going to actually... It's not coming. There you go.
There you go.
Stop arse licking to Trump. He's a
because it counts for nothing. He pulls it.
So we knew it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We bloody knew it.
Here you go. Here's the clip of the little boy or little girl.
I think it's a little boy, actually.
Yeah.
How did you get on at school today then?
Good. I bumped into them year sixes from the food fight down the canteen yesterday.
You bumped into the year sixes?
Yeah.
Where did you bump into them?
At playtime, they're starting to get a bit leery with me. They're making fun of Uzi. Because they were saying, "Oh, Uzi, you're looking round the corner, mate." Me, Cordless, Uzi, and Half Pine and Walnut stepped up to them.
Who's Cordless?
Cordless works at my school for a few hours and he's my friend.
And who's Half Pine?
Half Pine's tinier than me.
Yeah, what about Walnut?
Walnut's got a tiny egg. And I've done some thinking.
Thinking about what?
Well, I came up with a nickname for them year sixes.
You've come up with a nickname for the year sixes?
Yeah.
What?
The Sausage Squad.
Isn't
my God.
Adorable.
I want him to run the country.
I bet he ends up being an actor.
Oh my God, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mental markers of boy cats rally.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, no. So just finally, as we sign off, isn't it astonishing that you said that $38 billion, and that was the slam dunk that Starmer claimed to use when he pulled out of his gimp suit and went, "Wow, we managed to get a big deal."
I think I had the mini row on Loose Women about it.
There you go.
I said, but we don't know it. He's just said it.
Yeah.
He says everything.
He says everything.
He says whatever he wants. We know it.
Like a true narcissist, he says whatever gets the best response from the room. What about when he had the
Saudi prince in the over us? He said, "Oh, we've just signed a deal for how many hundreds of millions or something." It wasn't the Saudi prince was like fiddling with his fingers because, of course, they had not agreed a deal.
Yeah,
making America great again.
Flip-flopping, gaslighting narcissist. Getting gone, says Stephanie.
Come on, America.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. People sending messages about Hannah.
Yes.
Things are very actually going to the hospice today to see her, and thank you for all your messages when you send through. She's phenomenal, the bravery and but anyway, thank you for your lovely messages, and I will send them on to her today. I'm going there this afternoon. Can't wait to see her.
All right, guys.
Lovelies.
See you later for Vlogmas. We'll be landing later. Okay, guys, take care.